Obviously, disappointed with the outcome. Got to give Maryland credit. Defensively, they did a nice job, and offensively, we weren't able to generate enough points for a variety of reasons. And it's different people at different times, and tough. When you're missing as many parts as we were, but a lot of people are. And so it comes down to executing better and catching the football, finishing blocks. We weren't able to get the run game going, and so it was just kind of a myriad of things, I think, on that side of the ball. With that being said, we had a chance to win. We got into the fourth quarter and had the football and just didn't get it done. Chris Dunn had an excellent day for us. I was hoping that we'd be able to get him a game winner there at the end, kicking the ball back to him, stopping him, getting it back, and having a chance to go down and kick a game-winning field goal would have been a great way for him to finish his career. But just didn't get there. It's a great group of young men that I got to coach. I'm going to miss them. You got to see Tanner Engel probably at his best contact speed today, and seeing him hit like that, going to miss that a lot. Going to miss Drake Thomas and Isaiah Moore and so many of these guys. Great group of young men to coach. So disappointed in the results, but not disappointed, in the opportunity this team's created over and over to just keep fighting to the end of the game, and didn't make the plays there at the end to get the W. Questions?
Raise your hand. Let you know who. Front row.
Coach, Daryl Jones had 13 targets today, including 2 during the first and goal, the 2, and first 2 catches of the game, and I want to say the last 3 on offense for you. How much of that was a result of just natural play calling? How much was a concerted effort to kind of, get him some touches against his old team?
Well, there's no doubt that this was a meaningful game for Daryl, right? And so we wanted him to have a good day, but the plays weren't called to throw it to him every time. Sometimes he called double fades on a play and didn't like that matchup, so he took it. There's other plays where he was in the progression, and that's just how it worked out. But Daryl's a guy that, obviously transferred in from the opponent. He's a kid that's worked really hard on our football team, and he's made some good plays for us. So, hoping that he could be a part of that win that way.
Dave, you mentioned Chris Dunn already, but
Yeah.
with his career wrapped up, you've kind of lived both sides of the whole college kicking game thing. What
Yeah.
does it do for you, as a coach, when you have a guy who you can trust to go out there and make the kick?
Right. Well, I like you more because you're a Kansas City Chiefs shirt now, just so you know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Just kidding. Chris Dunn's been everything, man. You guys know what I went through that year. That was painful. Losing a game like we did that season on a missed field goal that, probably changes the trajectory of our program a little faster. And so having a guy like him that's done so many things, and the things you guys don't know about too, how he's overcome. Last year we missed those kicks against Clemson, the way he battled back, came back for another year, won the Groves Award. I think he's just a great example of persistence. Very talented, clutch, consistent performer, and a guy that is hard on himself, but in a good way, And so he set a great example with our specialists, set a great example with our players on, how to bounce back and how to respond when things don't go your way.
What was MJ's deal today? And also, if your offense had been more productive to that point, would you have considered going for it on the 4th and 9? And was it a situation where you didn't feel like your odds were that good?
Right, yeah. So MJ practiced throughout the bowls, and as we got closer to the game, he got sore and just didn't feel like it was the right move for him. We would love to have played him, but wasn't going to put him out there where he wasn't, completely confident. And so it's just, he was frustrated. We were frustrated. We just felt like it was the best thing for his future not to put him out there in that situation. Absolutely, midfield, 4th and 9, if we're ripping the ball and catching it, and would have gone for it, But with 3 timeouts and the way our defense had played, I thought we'd get it back, which we did, and have a chance to go score.
Dave, before the soreness developed, were you planning on starting MJ in the game or playing both?
They were going to both play for sure.
Both of them?
Yeah, they were both going to play for sure. That was the plan.
How do you assess how Ben played today?
Good and bad. I think he rushed some things at times. There were some drops that hurt his numbers. Made some good throws. there were some protection things that, you know, second time starter, you know, so just little things like that. But he battled, you know, he made some plays for us. If you talk to him, he'll tell you he's really disappointed. I mean, I think Ben really did practice well going into this game, so, you know, I think he had high expectations for how he'd play, and you know, I think he would tell you he didn't meet those. He did some good things, did some bad things.
Second rep to the left.
Coach, what was Maryland's defense doing, particularly on third down, to limit you guys?
And they were playing a lot of man, you know, 2-man and man free. The blitz some, but you know, and then occasionally they were playing some cover 2. But they did a good job mixing it up, and they've got good man-to-man corners, good man-to-man nickels. I mean, they've been good man coverage for most of the season.
Far rep.
We kind of started this month talking about how hard December has become.
Yeah,
When you look back now, 30 days later, portal, transfers,
yeah.
recruiting, injuries, Christmas time off, exam week. Now, how much did these guys kind of go through the last 30 days?
They've been through a lot. You know, coaches have been through a lot too. You know, and so there's lots of transition that happens on football teams this time of year. The outflow for people to leave your program has increased, as you guys know, with the portal. And you have coaching changes, and for us, Coach Beck's the head coach now, so it's a great move for him. But when those things happen, while you're trying to get ready to win a bowl game, you know, it's not always easy. And you have the injuries, and you have players deciding if they want to go pro, and opt-outs and everything else. So this team came to play. You know, they had only one opt-out in the entire deal, and had some players that couldn't play because of health. But they wanted to win this game. They battled and hung in there. I thought, you know, our preparation was good. We tried to get guys as healthy as we could for it. The month of December has become as challenging as you could imagine as a coach with all the things you're dealing with. So we'll see where that goes. It used to be a lot of fun. December did.
Take 2 more.
On the first drive of Maryland, were you surprised at the quarterback they chose to use? And then how
Yeah.
did the defense adjust to that?
I mean, I assumed maybe somebody was late to a meeting, because then he came in the rest of the game. So I'm guessing that's what happened. But yeah, we didn't expect that. And once 3 was back in the game, that's what we expected. The kid's a great player. You know, saw him hurt us with his legs on drop back passes throughout the game.
Last one in the back.
Dave, you look back in the season, how you assess the season?
You know, after a loss, it's hard to say all these things. You know, I mean, I probably need some time. I've said a lot during the bowl about how proud I am of this football team, winning 8 games with 4 quarterbacks, overcoming, you know, 2 massive comeback victories with, you know, Virginia Tech being the first, or Florida State and then Virginia Tech, beating our rival on the road, winning 4 top 25 games. There's a lot of positives. We had to overcome everybody, including our own expectations when the injuries hit. So I'm proud of a lot of things, you know. At the same time, we'd like to win more than 8 games, you know. So things that we got to get better at. But I said it multiple times, you know, if you would have told me when the season started that I was going to have all these quarterbacks play and win 8 games, I'd call you a liar. You know, it's hard to do. It's never happened in Power 5 football. So I think that shows that. It says a lot about the fortitude of this group. You know, defensively, it's the best football team I've coached. And so I'll have great memories of that. First Luke Rosa Award I've had the privilege of being on a football team with. So that was awesome to be a part of that with Chris. You know, and probably one of the best linebacking cores I've ever been around. You know, there's tons of positives to think about. And, you know, we had a bunch of sellouts at home, and our facilities keep getting better. There's a lot of positives. And you know, I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about Coach and I and Coach 2J joining our staff on offense. I think it's time for us to change and evolve, and couldn't have come at a better time. So I look forward to that.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.